Adam, can you talk us through the week and getting access to facilities, training grounds, and how that's worked out for you?
Yeah, we're obviously we found out on Tuesday morning, was it? I can't remember now, but Tuesday morning we sort of got wind that there might have been something happening. So yeah, we acted reasonably quickly. Got over here on Tuesday night, staying at the Pullman in Albert Park, and it's pretty much isolated to us and the Gold Coast. And yep, we're just rolling with what's in front of us. So we're training at Caulfield Grammar, which kindly let us use, which has got great facilities. So the oval, the gym, the pool, everything there that we could ask for. So yeah, fortunate we got some good contacts there, and yeah, the hotel feels pretty normal. So yeah, keep moving forward.
Are you going to get a run in Geelong before the game?
No, we won't. Weighing up whether we should try and get a captain's run there. I'm not quite sure if we get on anyway. There's 2 or 3 games over the weekend, so we'll train in Melbourne and go down on game day.
What's been your message to the players to handle the uncertainty and I guess roll with the punches this week and potentially for longer?
Yeah, it's pretty casual, to be honest. I think the fact we've been in this situation before has really helped, and even talking to the Australian cricket side, they're used to the travel and they're used to doing it every year. So it feels sort of like we're back on the bike a little bit. So learned some lessons from the past experiences, but this adventure is a little bit different. There's a bit more freedom around town as well. So we're not locked into the hotel for an extended period of time. We can get out and about. So it's really not that bad, to be honest.
Yep. Well, no cases in WA today. Have you had any guidance at all as to when you might be looking at returning? Trevor said hopefully Sunday, but any update on that?
No, it's the one thing I don't really focus on now, and the club and Intel. We're focused on Sydney. So the club will tell us, the AFL will tell us, the government will tell us, and we'll go by that guidance. I mean, of course, we want to get home when we can and play in front of our home ground and home crowd, but until that gets the green light, we'll just embrace what's in front of us here.
You didn't take Liam Ryan away with you. If you do stay longer than Sydney, what's the plan with him joining the squad?
I don't know. We'll work it out when we need to. Maybe he can get over next week, depending on what happens if we're here. So we took a fair squad, but we thought Liam being suspended for a week could spend a week with his family, and we'll try and work through that scenario if it presents itself next week. So we actually don't know, but you can't plan these things. You just got to get on with it.
And who's looking to replace him this week?
Yeah, well, we'll have to work through that. We main trained today. We've got good numbers, and obviously we had a really disappointing performance last week. We've got probably up to 40-odd players available, which, went from low 30s to 40 in 1 week. So, yeah, selection's going to be tight, and some guys really put their hand up last week and a lot of guys didn't. So working through it, it was a really good training session today. A lot of guys have put their hand up, so there'll be serious match committee discussions this afternoon.
Are you looking at any midfield changes, Adam?
Well, we'll look at it. We played an extra mid last week. We had a full complement of our mids on the weekend. First time probably for 12 months since they all played together, and obviously the colours were lowered. So, a lot of those guys are experienced players that we expect more from. So I wouldn't have thought we'd jump to too many conclusions too quickly, but expectations we play better this week.
Is there still a minutes cap on Luke Shuey and Elliot Yeo? And if so, what would those minutes caps be now, mate?
I haven't gone through that. It's not about that. It's not about minutes caps, and it's about playing at our best from the start. So I don't worry about the time on ground stuff. It's irrelevant, really.
What about for those, you just mentioned there's a lot of people who are putting boys who will be putting their hands up, but with no waffle, is there any plan for those boys who won't be playing AFL?
That's a good question, and we deliberately took over a healthy squad so we could, A, we can train together today with a bit of 18v18, and B, potentially, there's plenty of teams we can play. There's 18 clubs around, so trying to organise scrimmage games. We've done this in the past in Queensland as well, so we'll see how we go, whether it's this weekend or the next. But if we are here for a bit longer, we'll definitely look to be playing some other sides in a scrimmage format. A lot of them have got VFL expectations as well. So we'll see how we go. I mean, I know Freo don't have a VFL alliance, and obviously Adelaide and Port Adelaide as well. So we'll have to see how we go.
Hey,
I don't
Simo.
know.
Oh, sorry, mate. It's Chatters here. I just wanted to ask you guys were able to bust your SCG hoodoo a few weeks ago by taking on Carlton there. Do you see this as a pretty good opportunity to do the same at Cardinia Park?
Yeah, GMHBH Stadium. Is it GMHBH? Sounds like it's an extra. It's HBA. I almost got it. Oh, look, every time you get to play there, there's another opportunity. So, we're lucky to play there once a year, once a year. It's really a challenge for us to win down there. We've struggled in the past, and, we might be playing this week, next week, the week, who knows. So, yeah, opportunity is all we're looking at it as, and we're looking forward to it. We can't wait to get down there.
And in terms of just mental scars from what happened against Geelong there earlier this season, how much did the guys carry forward from a performance like that?
Yeah, our mental scars, it's pretty strong comment. Obviously we didn't play well against Geelong there a few weeks ago, but my expectation is we're going down off the back of a poor performance and we play as well as we can against a side who's above us on the ladder. So I don't care where we play, really. We need to perform well to beat Sydney, and that's our objective.
Adam, is Connor West fit, firstly? And if so, any chance at all?
Well, he didn't play last week with a rolled ankle, so he'd be available if there was a waffle game. But AFL, I would have thought it's a bit of a stretch. He's played one game, and it was a good one. I know he's played 2 games and he got injured in the second one. So, yeah, he actually trained really well today. He was one of our better players in the match sim. But we'll wait till match committee this afternoon. But I would have thought he probably needs to get a bit more consistency in games under his belt.
Simo, how much focus do you put on Buddy Franklin and who's likely to go to him?
Yeah, well, he's done some damage in the past on us before. I think he kicked 8 against us then at the first game at Optus. Had a pretty good day up at the SCG a few years ago as well. So, yeah, we've got obviously Tom Barrass available and McGovern down there. And obviously there'll be some handovers as well. So, yeah, we're working through that. Had a few things in place today at training, and we'll see how that goes in the review. And he's done some damage before, and we're not the only team he's done it to. So, yeah, it's something to look out for sure.
Different sort of contact, but it was still head-high contact. Was it frustrating that Buddy gets off with a fine and Liam Ryan gets ruled out?
Should have got a week, Buddy. No, I think they're 2 different instances. I think Liam's, we accept that charge, and we've got to find ways to tackle rather than bump. I thought Buddy's was a bit different than that.
And we touched on the midfield effort before, just in terms of the feedback from the players themselves. No doubt they would have been really disappointed, but have you sensed from them that they kind of have that real sense to try to right that wrong? We'll
find out on the weekend, I suppose. Yeah, obviously all of us were disappointed on the weekend. We're not isolating just the midfield. I think across the board we're outplayed for most of the day, and lucky to be thereabouts halfway through the third quarter. So, the actions need to be the evidence, not the discussion.
And it's actually so rare to have your full complement of midfielders fit and on the park. So will it just take a bit of time for them to get used to playing with each other again, because it has been a long time? Yeah,
whilst there's no excuse on the weekend, at the same time, we're not going to get the best out of Luke Shuey in his first week in 10 weeks. So I said this before, Dangerfield's still working towards his best form as well. Guys coming back from long-term injuries, it takes a little bit of time. But if they put their hand up to play as a collective, we should have a really good midfield for weeks to come if we all stay fit and healthy. And now we want to get better. So we want to get better this week, that's for sure.
Are you concerned that Liam might actually have to quarantine if he does choose to join the squad as the coach without any other opinions?
I'm not quite sure the context of that. So we didn't have to quarantine. We got tested, and then till the negative result came back, we had to quarantine. And that's, I'm assuming, if anyone comes over from Perth after the lockdown, and if there's any type of lift after the lockdown, that if Liam comes over, it'll be the same as what we went through.
Fingers crossed.
And Simo, the contested possession battle last week, you were minus 30 on that front. What have you done this week to address that?
Oh, I think we've been pretty good in the last 5 or 6 weeks. We've probably been top 4 or 5 in that area. So, we want to get better. We haven't really done the review. We managed to do it in between all the travel and packing and getting everything organised. We've moved on. We're on to Sydney, and we need to play at our best. And that's contests. It's the way we move the ball, the way we defend. That's our objective. You're not going to live too much in that game, albeit it was the last time we played. We were really disappointed.
Simo, you had any words to Ben Cunnington knocking you off in North Melbourne as all-time leader in clearances?
I think I've still got him for hit-outs, is what I told Brady Rawlings. He sent me that text the other day. So, yeah, he's a pretty good player, isn't he? I'm pretty sure he's played a fair few less games than I have as well.
Adam, what have you made of Oscar Allen back in the ruck role, and will he do that again?
I don't think he'll do it all year. It's a challenge for him. I think he's 192 centimetres. Plays a role for us, obviously, filling in the second ruck, but it won't be something we'll do all year. It's been a difficult challenge for him to do both. We think long term he's a permanent forward for us, but there's opportunities to play Bailey or Nathan Vardy as well. So we'll look at that. It's something that we said from the start. It won't be all the time.
Did you go back to him though because you were worried about being too tall?
A few weeks ago, I can't remember the reason why we went back to it. I think we were playing a side with perhaps 1.5 ruckmen. You've got to look at who you're rucking against to decide whether we should get Oscar to second ruck. So, and then the height thing, sometimes that works really well, sometimes it doesn't. I've said it before, it's sort of all or nothing when you play an extra tall with us. It's hard to get that balance. So definitely we're smaller and quicker and can put more pressure on when we play one less tall, but we've got to weigh up the balance.
How did Luke Shuey pull up, and has coming over a little bit earlier probably been an advantage for him with that sort of soft tissue injury that he previously had?
I'm not sure. We normally travel 2 days out, so that wouldn't matter. But he pulled up well, and the one shining light out of last week is we did get some minutes into some players, and he got through and pulled up really well. So expectations, he can have a bit more impact as the season goes on. With time on ground stuff, it's not really a factor. It's more impact on ground and the ability to keep up with the player. I think that every week he plays, he'll get better and better.
Simo, how have you seen Jermaine Jones' development in 2021, and what do you think he needs to do to play some consistent senior footy?
Yeah, that newsreel's just started. Jermaine's been great this year. He's had a great year. He found his way out of the side, not through lack of form. There was a bit of a squeeze really after the Richmond game and the players coming back in. So he puts a lot of good pressure on. He's trying to lift his opportunities with his disposals, but he's had growth this year, definitely. So wouldn't be surprised if he made his way back in the side sooner rather than later.